Indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on this wonderful, beautiful, glorious day. That we get to learn more lessons. Whatever lesson that life is going to teach, we're going to be willing students to receive said lesson. I want to talk about just that. Life as the teacher, teaching us either the same lesson over and over and over and over again, or it teaches us a new lesson every single life. Maybe it teaches us the same couple of lessons over and over again. And the goal is to actually be a good student and learn what you're being taught. Maybe listen to what life is trying to teach you. What do you friends think? What do you friends think? Please do tell me. What lessons has life been teaching you? And if you did listen to the lesson life was trying to teach you, how did it serve you? If you didn't listen to the lesson life was trying to teach you, how did it put a spanner in your gears or whatever? Whatever. My dad, like I was walking out on the porch today, and he was sitting reading through my book of things worth saying, and I was like, "You're sick, sick. Keep reading." And he's like, "What is this?" And I told him it's a book of things worth saying. And he's like, "Okay, so just because you say it doesn't make it true." I'm like, "Yeah, obviously not. But it still, I believe, has worth in just saying it." So, maybe there was a little bit of an exchange there. Okay. I feel, I don't know if this one relates perfectly to the teacher topic, but it goes, only power has been given unto you, and that power dwells within you as the life of your life. The very thing that you are that's animating your existence in this experience right now is the power that you have. And it's the only thing that you've been given is that power, and you use that power to do whatever, to experience hatred, to experience love, to make something, to destroy something. Yeah. Only power has been given unto you, and that power dwells within you as the life of your life. May infinity alone dwell within, and as this creation that I once thought was myself. Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you, friends, for joining me on this beautiful day. Well, good morning, friends. Hope you. How are the early birds feeling today? I hope you're feeling well. It is a Monday. I believe it's a Monday. Is it Monday? It's Monday. I think it's Monday. I'm sure it's Monday now. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Monday, friends. I hope you have a beautiful week that awaits you. I hope that life teaches you good lessons. You know, like hopefully life is gentle. Hopefully it's not the first time life is teaching you this lesson. I feel that life can be gentle with the lessons it tries to teach, but if we don't listen, it has to get louder and louder to try and teach us the same lesson. And the louder life gets, the more shit breaks, unfortunately. But eventually we learn the lesson. We're like, oh, 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 sorry, life. And life is like, thank you, finally. And you know what's the funniest part? I feel like I'm not learning that lesson. Whatever that lesson is, whatever that lesson is that life is trying to teach me, for some reason, I feel like I'm not learning it. And I had this weird, like almost surreal feeling. The first time I ever had that feeling was on that 550 mic lion experience at a festival where I found myself on the dance floor dancing. And as I was moving, I felt like I was trying to lockpick the cosmic vault, you know, and within this cosmic vault, there was information hidden. And I was trying to dance this information out of the universe, if that makes any sense. And I felt so close to it. I felt so close to it. And then I had this surreal experience of I'm being watched. Like this suddenly like the zing, you know, the uh, the Solid Snake, you know, danger sound, that swing, swing. Like I had that swing inside of me, and I looked around and I saw these people looking at me, and I stopped because I felt like I was in my imagining, I was escaping. I was like, am I? What is happening right now? And from there on, I've been so fascinated by these lessons that life might be trying to teach us. These cosmic problems that we might be trying to solve as a collective consciousness. Maybe there is an underlying problem that the universe once solved, and you know, it being so computationally complex, you know, the way that atoms interact with one another, the way those atoms kind of turn into little single cell organisms, you know. Well, let's go back even DNA to proteins to cells. It is all of these, you know, computationally complexifying things for something. Maybe this experience we're having right now is what life is trying to teach us. Just whatever it is right in front of you. Oh yes, pen. Thank you, life, for teaching me pen. Thank you, life, for teaching me cup. Thank you, life, for teaching me there's water inside cup. Like maybe that's the point. Maybe that's what we're supposed to learn. We're just trying to overcomplify it. Yes, overcomplify it. Complex. Simplify. Simplify. Maybe we're trying to do that. Maybe we're trying to force more complexity into something that is already so complex. And the simple answer is the one that we're running away from. Just life. That is what life is trying to teach us. It's trying to teach us how to live. What do you think? I'm not, I don't know. I'm just trying to feel from the space. We got a smooth melt today. Smooth, smooth melt. I had to, like, I was wetting my little scarf, and I just put some like water through my hair as well, so that it's a little bit cooler. Looking good, my friend. Thank you, Isaac. Why, thank you, friend. Just quickly hopping into wish you and everyone that's gonna be here today an absolutely fantastic day. Talia, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that. I hope you have an amazing one. Heisenberg is tagging his Twitch as Eisenboy. You know, if you're really curious about what Heisenboy's Twitch is, maybe go check it out. You know, like, don't say that it was my fault if you see some whack stuff. At your own discretion. Viewer discretion is advised. We love you though, Heisenberg. Come back, friend. Good afternoon. Hello, Isaac. Doing fine here. Thanks. Hey, Mel. Thanks so much. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for joining us again. Thank you for joining us for the yoga. Thank you for sharing from a deep place in your heart and getting things out that might feel stuck, if you will. I appreciate it. Corey, I appreciate you being there as well today. If life has taught me anything, he says, it's that you'll always get what you need, and sometimes what you need is what you want. I like that. So the reason I like that so much is because I feel it melts completely into what we're talking about today and what I've been saying a little bit before is that this experience, like the thing you need, a breath of air right now. Oh, I'm thirsty. A sip of water, and I'm not unaware and naive that there are people in the world who don't have access to water and food right now. But I believe that's temporary as well. I believe it is that way because there's a misbalance in life happening right now, where big trees are sucking up the resources, killing the small shrubs, if you will, in this context, of course. But you're so right, my friend. If life is trying to teach us just to live, then it's going to give us what we need to continue living. And very specifically, what we need. And it's so interesting, this relationship between need and want. If I've spent 40 days walking through a desert, I'm going to need water and I'm going to want water in that case, in that circumstance. So, in that scenario, self created, might I add, I will want and need this thing at the same time. And if life provides that, then I can thank life for giving me what I want, or I can rejoice in getting what I needed. And I feel it's just a matter of mindset. Like we get things that we don't want sometimes as well. Be it bad news, be it an unfortunate investment, be it a relationship that goes awry. We get that news and it's not something we want, but maybe that is something we need as well. And if we truly knew what we needed in life completely and without any bias, maybe we would realize everything we're getting is what we need. Everything is what we need, and everything we're getting is what we want in that same context as well. We've wanted all of this. That's why we're here experiencing it right now. If this isn't what we wanted, then we wouldn't have gotten it. And, us as a collective society now wants even more of this. Even more communication, even more understanding, even more information, even more accessibility, even more insight into the mysteries of the universe. We get what we want, friends. We do get what we want. So it's in that context that I wonder, if life is trying to teach us a lesson, I'm thinking instantly about Christian. He has this thing that he likes to say, be careful what you wish for, because you're going to get it. Be careful what you wish for, because you're going to get it. Maybe that's the lesson that life teaches us, is to be careful what we wish for. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ninja Nanner. I appreciate you, Brother Bear. Glad to hear my friend excited for this conversation today. Ooh, that sounds amazing, Isaac. Oh, I hear you talking about this one. I thought you were going to have a conversation with Kate. Wow, love this. Hard to remind ourselves of this when we want the unattainable. Yeah, and you see, that unattainable thing that we want, why is it we want it? I feel it's so important to ask ourselves that question as well as an opportunity to learn from ourselves. Oh, I want this thing. So let's talk about my wants at the moment. Something I want right now is an iPad. Because I've convinced myself that if I had an iPad, I would have enough screen real estate to draw on. And I've been drawing on my cell phone, and it works, I guess. But I have this much screen real estate. So in my mind, it's something that I want, right? But I already have more than I need. So if I get this thing that I want, it might allow me to create more things. It might allow me to, express another creative part of myself. And it's not necessarily unattainable, but is it going to change my life quality drastically? Am I in this moment, where I am right now, having not attained this thing that I want, any worse off? And do I believe? Is there any part of me that believes that in getting this thing I'm going to be better off? Because if we can answer those questions and realize that we hold these assumptions about, things we want versus things we need versus things that we cannot or don't think we can attain, none of them are going to be able to fill that thing inside of us. The want for things, I believe, I'm trying at least to align my want with things that allow more creation. Yeah, I think that's true actually. More creation. So whatever I think now about spending money on is not necessarily something I want for myself, but something that will in turn allow me to create even more. And like I'm asking myself right now, am I unhappy not creating as much as I can? How long am I willing to wait until I can create more? Is there any rush in it? Either way. The lesson that life keeps teaching me in that context, Isaac, is that I don't need anything. I don't need anything. I've gone without water for at most 3 days on a water fast. I didn't want to go longer than that. I've gone without food for 2 weeks. I've gone without weed after starting to smoke it for a year and a half. After I stopped drinking alcohol, I think it took me 3 years before I tried it again. We don't need any of these things. Eventually we'll need to eat again if we want to, remain as this form, to sustain this form. But we don't even need that. Not the thing that you fundamentally are. It doesn't need anything. It doesn't discern between good or evil in the same way either. Like if you, for instance, this is a scenario. I wanna give a example, but I don't want to make it something that would be disturbing. I wanna create an evil scenario and a good scenario. So evil scenario, there someone is stepping on my flowers. There we go. Scenario one, someone sees my beautifully blooming flowers, sees them, sees the beauty of them, gets enraged by the beauty of the universe, and stomps on them, and absolutely jumps them into the ground. And me witnessing this. Then, the next scenario, I see someone, walking past the flowers, reverse time, flowers are unstomped. Someone walks past these flowers, sees the beauty in them, comes close to them, tries to smell them, takes a photo of them, sees there's a bucket of water, gives the flowers a little bit of water. So, in this context, in this story, we can think of the one person as an evil individual for stomping on the flowers, and another person as a good individual for watering the flowers and spending time with the flowers instead. But our awareness, the thing that could witness both of those actions, didn't discern whether or not it was going to witness it or not. Oh, there's an evil action happening. Not gonna look at it. Not gonna see it. Not gonna hear it. No. Your awareness is just there. Being aware. And from that place, we don't need anything. Literally nothing. It's just going to be in a state of awareness. It's going to be like, oh, okay. I'm aware that you want this thing. And maybe I'll keep, reminding you that you want this thing. And then you get the thing. And then I'll remind you of now you have the thing. And now you can use things. And then that awareness of the thing that you wanted passes. And if we keep creating this next sense of, oh, I want this thing now, and then I want this thing, and then if I get this thing, then I'm going to be happy, and then life keeps teaching us that that is not the way to do it. That's the last way that we should do it. It's for some reason something we get so caught up in. And then at the end of life, every single person realizes that what they really wish they did is spend more time with people. Instead of pursuing wants, instead of pursuing power, status, they just wish they spent more time with people. And they live longer. Isn't that weird? The ones that do spend more time with people, the ones that lived happier lives, they might not have been financially as successful, But those who spend time with family and loved ones live longer. So it's on a visceral, physical level that we stay healthy if we love one another. Life teaches us so many lessons. I feel we can literally continue this stream into infinitum, and we won't stop finding lessons that life teaches us. Hard to remind ourselves. I feel like life lately has been showing me the path of appreciation. Appreciation of time, loved ones, hobbies, and things that fulfill myself. My framework of priorities have been shifting lately from materialism or money to capitalizing on time with family. I'm guessing what you're saying, Isaac. I hope you enjoyed that, bit of synchronicity that we just shared with one another. I appreciate you so much, Brother Bear. So, so, you're telling me we're here to solve the universe's problems? Great. Ninja, it seems that way, friend. It seems that way. Either the universe keeps trying to solve the same problem over and over again and tries to do it in different ways, and then as a result of that, different levels of biology arises from that. So in that context, there are a bunch of other aliens trying to solve the exact same problem. And like the hilarity in that, Ninja Nanner, is that the problem we're trying to solve is the problem of self. Every single one of us is trying to solve this problem of who am I? What am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here? And we've been asking those questions for as long as we've been asking questions. So that's the problem the universe is trying to solve. And we're that solution. We're the universe thinking for itself into what am I? What and then we're like looking at self as self. And then we're like, oh yes, I'm separate. I'm separate because I have a point of reference. And the point of reference that is me is appearing onto the point of reference that is the rest of the universe. I'm not a part of it. No, no, no. No, there's me, and then there's no, no, goodness. We're it, Ninja Nanner. I'm sorry, friend. You freaking buckle up, man. Buckle up. Having some HC body temp right now. Life is trying to teach me to slow the fuck down because I've been all over the place recently. I've actually felt that, weirdly enough, Melita, like a visceral energy. The universe is solving our problems, and we're solving the universe problems. How's that for a one? Thank you so much, Melita. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Woo! Okay. Man, for some reason my throat is a little bit slimy today. I'm trying to think if I ate something. I think my sister might have added dairy to the pasta she made last night. My sister made handmade pasta, which I'm very proud of her for. It also has no vegetable oils, which tickles my fancy. Have to wish you a great day. Thank you, unfair relative. A great day to you as well, Jacob, Brother Bay. Thank you for joining us on B. I hope everyone is well today. I hope your mind is well. I'm seeing an asterisk for some reason. Not weirdly enough. I know exactly why. My consciousness and my mental mind has just been filled with marijuana plants blooming as of late. Like when I close my eyes, I see these budsicles fractaling out, and I cannot unsee it because every single time I walk into that greenhouse of mine and I work on the plants, they're they're communicating with me. They're talking to me, and I can't see. I can't stop seeing what they're trying to say. Oh, we think that we overcomplicate what life lessons is over our evolution in modernity. As we create new concepts, nuclear family, money, retirement, we communicate the formula. We have the answer clear as day at birth. Thoughts. So, what I'm thinking again is just from that place of awareness. Even as a baby, even at birth, all you want to be is aware. And the things you want to be aware of, you want to be comfortable with as well. You want a sense of love coming from that awareness. And some of us grow up in families where we don't receive love and I. I cannot say sorry enough, and I wish I could do more to actually help that, other than what I'm doing right now. But some of us receive love in our lifetimes, in our environments. But what's interesting to me, that even though we can grow up in very different households, one household that absolutely loves us, one household that we maybe get abused, they can still, from that experience, come out a beautiful human being. And like more often than not, there is a beautiful human being coming out of those environments. And it's, at least to me, an indication that there is this wisdom within us, in our hearts, in our minds, in our very existences itself, the power that we are. There is information that is embedded within that as well. And the information that I find is the loudest within that power is love. It's just love. It's just like, dude, you keep asking us this question, and we keep telling you it's love. And I'm like, but damn it, I need more answers than that. I was like, no, dude, there's love, love. And I'm like, but what about the next 50 years of my life? And it was just like, yeah, love. And I'm like, okay, okay, love, yeah, love. And I'm like, okay, nice. So I just love, yep. And then I live a good life, yep. Okay, that's simple enough, right? Yep. But no buts. No buts. Stop asking questions. You know the answer. Please remember to use a calculator and show your work. Lol, Isaac, thank you. Pi is exactly 3. In that case, exactly 3. If we ever find the end of pi, it probably guarantee means that we live in a simulated universe. Because you wouldn't be able to do those numbers, numbers like pi, numbers like the golden ratio, that continue into infinitum if we're in a rendered reality. Because there would be, well, unless they figure out, damn it, they probably have already figured out how to do it in a quantum way to store those bits of energy. So they can just technically use the last bit as an integer, and then it keeps taking a measurement of that last integer, continuing into infinitum as well. So technically, damn it, frick it, damn it. I thought that was a funny snippet. The fact that if we ever find the end of infinite, or ever find the end of pi, we know that we're in a rendered reality. But now I've just, at least in my own mind, made sense of the fact that the aliens would figure out, if there is an alien civilization rendering us in the Matrix right now, they would be able to figure out how to bypass even that. Peppy, oh goodness, Peppy, this life keeps teaching us the lessons. Huh? What lessons? What lessons do you learn from life? That's what I'm curious about. Huh? What lessons do you learn from life, Peppy Longstockings? What lessons does life teach you? Maybe love as well, right? Look at this. Look at this. Dares to bite me. Dares to bite me. Because she knows I'm not gonna hurt her for it. Hey, hey, let's see. Yeah, she knows. She knows love is true, and if she hurts me, she's like, oh goodness, did I unlove him? I think accidentally. Okay. See you later. Oh, look at that smooth face. Looking clean, pal. Thank you, Toast. Thank you, man. I felt it was time. I haven't seen myself shaved in a while, so I was like, okay, sick. Bzz, bzz. It feels kind of weird. Like, as soon as I saw myself in the mirror, I was like, goodness, how did I drop like 2 years of age instantaneously? I just realized he shaved. I thought something was different. Super observant over here. Looking sharp though. Thank you so much. Like as soon as I saw Corey this morning as well, I saw he was like clean shaven as well. And for some reason my mind was like, did Corey shave as well? That was my first thought. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ninja Peach. Yee, morning Peach. Hope the family is happy and healthy. Thank you, Toast, for sending that love, my friend. Right back at ya. What country are you in, man? South Africa. Aesthetic change. South Africa. I knew you translate. Absolutely. It's a family day in Canada today. They had to make a holiday to encourage families to spend the day together. So happy family day, Melt family. Love you all so much. Happy family day to you. Thank you so much, Ninja Peach, for spending family day with us. Now by extension, we have all been pulled into Family Day, which by extension makes us now all family. You cannot undo it. I'm sorry. It's done. We're now the Melt family into infinitum as well. It's done. Thank you. You have cast a spell on all of us, Ninja Peach. I appreciate you joining us, genuinely. Cheers, friends. Cheers to you, Toast. It's so nice to have you here, Brother Bear. I want to reach out to you a little bit, see if we can chat, man. Finally get to wake and bake to go back to sleep on a Monday. That sounds like a vibe, dude. That just sounds like something to be celebrated even. I'm gonna wake and bake and then go back to sleep on a Monday. That's just like an instant. For some reason, my mind goes to like that Mr. Bean scene where he's flipping people off as he's driving in his car. Yes, exactly that does. Happy Family Day! Thank you, Blossom. Minato Blossom. I appreciate you, friend. It's nice of you to join us. Oh, how nice. Ermias Blur. I'm resisting the temptation to wake and bake at work and have a slow morning. We'll see if I don't give in. Oh, Isaac. I mean, you know, I'm just thinking, like if I had to choose a barber and I knew he was stoning versus the other barber who might be on like in this scenario on stimulants, so he might be going fast and stimulant is coffee as well, for example. He might be going fast and the other person might be going slow. I 9 out of 10 times go with the stoner barber because he's gonna take his time with my hair. He's gonna take some intention. Instead of just going for it. So you enjoy yourself, Isaac. I'm not gonna encourage you to do anything you don't want to do, friend. I just want you to know you're loved. Hey, Cartha! I'm doing so well, friend. Even better now that you're here. Thank you for joining us. We're talking today about life's lessons, or life as the teacher trying to teach us a bunch of lessons. What lesson has life been teaching you? And what happened when you listened to the lessons? What happened when you didn't listen to the lessons? I would love to know from you. Good morning, hey on B. Hey, Katie is joining us as well. Look at the baby face. Yeah, Katie, coffee is good. Mel family is here. All is well. Yes, I just imagine Katie emerging, like for some reason like a pivot from the bottom of her feet, whoosh, coming out of the blankets. Blanket flies off of her, and then she floats like a like a rendered character throughout her environment until she has a coffee in her hand, and then she floats back into like a very comfortable seat, and then she opens the melt stream, and then she's like, yes, all is good. I can be a human again. Thank you for joining us, Katie. It's nice to have you here. Enjoy each chapter. I'm trying to, Rex Dog. I hope you are trying to do as well, my friend. I appreciate you joining us. If our individual reality is only defined by our own perceptions, then we cannot perceive the lack thereof. We will always be in a state of existence. Oh, yeah, Garth. There we go. Yeah! Like I wanted to give you a drum roll, but the yow came first. Follow your dreams. Don't take time for granted. Tell your loved ones you love them. Couldn't say it better myself. Thank you, Cartha, for sharing those life lessons. Man, that feels good. That feels so good. Just to have that, a part of my fractal getting melted into the rest of me. Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm sorry, Carla. Thank you so much for sharing that, my friend. Saint Pariah! Much love to you, Brother Bear, with the glorious hair. Thank you for joining us, man. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Handmade pasta is the shit. It is. Weirdly enough, so instantly, like Katie, I have to share this with you. Upon reading you saying something is the shit, like there was this big fight that me and my dad had with one another about me saying like this was when I was I think 16 or 15 or something like that, and I think it was like in the context of this joke of Hollywood stars walk on red carpets, me and my homies walk on toilet paper because we're the shit. And like it was to me as a 15, 16-year old, just hysterical. And I think I told that joke at table or something, and he instantly went into, yes, this is a learning moment. And he had to ask me, but why? But why shit? Why do you want to be the shit? And I'm like, I do not actually know. And ever since, I've had a hard time using it. I have a little bit of a hard time using it now, Katie. My dad broke me. Thank you for joining us, though. Somebody shave for Monday, looking fancy, Melty. Yeah, Kizil. No, Kizzle? No. Is it Kizzle? I've already forgotten, dude. I'm trying to like rewind in my brain to the last point I was in this space, to the last point I was reading your text, where you were spelling it out in two phonetic characters, and I'm trying to reference that, and I can see it, but it's like a little bit like this. Somebody, thank you, the panda. Yes. Okay, covered. Thank you, Fred, for joining us again. Homemade gnocchi. It was what was it? It was like a thickish pasta made from cornmeal. So kind of new to what I'm used to at least. Just doing a flyby. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Saint Pariah, for joining us for even a second. I find that intriguing. I do believe that we are the space of consciousness itself. We can look to babies as an unadulterated form of consciousness, untouched by civilization, inspiring that they have no pressure to succeed or to finish a list. I don't know. Babies are there to snuggle, explore, and be with the people that love them. They are content. Interesting to think about. And they don't need any more than the bare essentials either. Like babies would enjoy, like things to play with, but at least at first, they don't want anything else than the bare essentials, love, comfort, safety, and food. And I feel, taking that as in your words, like learning from these babies, that's the thing that we have to take care of, with all humanity. We need to be able to treat humanity itself as a big baby on this planet, something to be taken care of. And then from that place, we will be allowed to grow up and actually contribute to the society in a meaningful way. But unfortunately, we're required to grow up in a specific way, in a very specific way. We're expected to grow up to be a very specific type of person. And we don't encourage diversity of thinking, diversity of doing, diversity of this life lesson. And I feel that is changing, Isaac. I think it is. Estienne is so super hyped today. I am feeling pretty hyped. Thank you, Katie. I've done a good bit of writing again today, so I feel really good about that. I've done so much volume. So, like upwards of 70 pull-ups and then 30 like leg raises, where I hang completely and then I bring my legs up to above my hands and then I drop my legs down again, and like 40 push-ups. So I've like lifted 2 cars worth of weight today, and it feels fantastic. On top of the writing, on top of the yoga, on top of us being here in this moment, I just have so much to be happy and grateful for. Thank you for joining me, Katie. Baby schedule, eat, sleep, poop, laugh, and cry. So easy. So freaking easy. Goodness. I want to be a baby again as well. Take me back. Take me back. Galactic womb. Suddenly get sucked out of this universe. This is schedule as well. Thank you. Thank you, Katie. Eat, sleep, poop, laugh, and cry. Interesting stuff is going on here. I'm happy that you're enjoying it, Environmental Bat. We try to learn as much from life as we can in this space. And the more we show up for the lessons that she teaches, the more we learn, the better of students we become. Thank you for showing up as well, friend. So true, sounds like my schedule for singing. Yes, life lesson from Pippi the puppy. Pippi the puppy. Man, like I'm thinking now as well. And this is like a shotgun theory toast, so like tell me if I'm crazy. But her being such a scaredy cat, like she's the most scaredy cat of a puppy I've ever met in my entire life. I feel like there is some sort of cosmic wisdom in her to know that she should be more, not scared. We have a word in Afrikaans that's called huiverig. It's like a combination of uneasy slash uncertain, where you're like, oh, do you want to invest? Ek's bietjie huiwerig. Like I'm a little bit uneasy, a little bit uncertain, huiwerig. Like she's very huiwerig, like extremely so. And it feels like she is that way as a means to keep herself alive. One of our pups passed away because of a snake. It came into our house and it defended our house from a black mamba. And black mambas, you just straight up die. If a black mamba bites you, the chances of you making it are very, very, very small. He killed the snake, but unfortunately the snake, killed him as well in the process. We got Kiki as our little puppy, our little Jack Russell, and she was an absolute angel. Like I've never seen a little pup more enthusiastic about experiencing and enjoying life than she was. And it feels to me as well like she knew that she was going to pass early in her life. That's why she was so present. She didn't even, change her baby teeth. Like she just lost one of her fangs. She didn't even get the new one yet. And she passed. And Pippi, like every single time, even though they're still a Jack Russell, there are still these characteristic traits, intrinsic in them. There are these little unique individuals, inside of that beingness. Every single being has that. We just don't see it as well with these, gooses and the cows and the pigs and little burbs. But I believe each and every single creature that comes into this world with a level of character, a bit of soul, if you will. And I feel that's also a lesson that Pippi has taught me. All of these little puppies have taught me. What lesson does Pippi learn? Don't bite the spiky plants. Like, don't bite the spiky plants and stay away from the dripping honey. I feel like that sounds like the start of a story. Stay away from the dripping honey. Like, there's a bee's nest living in one of our walls. It's technically an outside wall that has these rocks kind of like stacked on top of one another like this, and there's a hole into that, and there's like these crevices that they've built their nest in. And there was this honey leaking out, from that wall. And Pippi was like, for some reason, Pippi likes, fruits and stuff as well. I'll give her bits of mango or a bit of apple or something like that. And she's like licking on the honey. And the next thing we didn't, see her actually licking the honey. We just found her completely like erect with like bee stings all over her face. So she's learned that lesson as well. Like, stay away from the spiky bugs. You owe me a coke. Oh my gosh, cool. I love Africa, and we love you, Monita Bloom. Thank you for Blossom. Thank you for joining us, my friend. I haven't shaved in a few days, but I can't grow facial hair for crap. My face just looks dirty. Oh goodness, Corey. Like, for what it's worth, you're beautiful without a beard, friend. Happy Fam Day, fam. Happy Fam Day to you, Jovan. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Melt fam for life. Thank you, brother May. I learned from life that everything is our perception. Oh, all of it is, friend. And the way that you perceive, again, it doesn't discriminate what you perceive. It discriminates what you think of, what you perceive. And it's that disturbs you, not so much the thing that disturbs you. And if you can learn that lesson, that's Stoic philosophy 101. If you can learn that lesson, things become a lot easier as well. Giovanni! Giovanni! I love Mr. B. There we go, toast. Synchronicity, even more so. Jovan saying hi to toast. Nan just says, oh no, it's Ninja Peach says, animals don't need to be taught love. They are born with it, just like people are. It's only trials and tribulations of life that distract us from our true loving selves. Gotta stay the course and be our true, lovely, loving human selves. I'm so happy to be in a space where there's other people that understand that. Ninja Peach. I genuinely feel like we haven't had this opportunity before. As a as an awakening society. We were so separated by class, color, within that race, religion, age groups, political belief, religion, I'm good at this, you're not good at this mentality. Separation upon separation upon separation. And I genuinely believe because of the internet, it is impossible for those that would want to keep us apart now. And I'm looking forward to what that is going to contribute to the rest of the whole CPW. Hey, for joining us, friend. What's up with you, man? You're still handsome, though. Oh, yes, he is, Lamar. Wake and bake, and any day is a win, but a Monday. It's like a herbal essence commercial. Just falling into flowers in paradise. Man, I just see Corey like slow mo. Like gentle smirk on his face, soft eyes, hair fluttering, as he falls back first into this, blanket of nugs, and as he falls, the nugs kind of keep or transfer momentum and fly past his face as he falls into these nugs. And the camera kind of catches the glistening of the trichomes, as these colas fall on top of him. Ninja, yes. I can see it, dude. Said beautifully, we should all just be incarnated as doggos. I mean, we are, as every doggo, Isaac, of course. Hi, or hi North Hitter. Thank you for joining us for the wholesome. I appreciate. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate the wholesome. It's nice to have you here, friend. You're sweet. What do you want slash need? Like just your unwavering attention, devout loyalty, and willingness to raise a child. Just a little bit, just, just a wee bit. Yes, yes, yes. Life also teaches me don't care about good and bad feelings. I mean, don't care about them is a little bit rash. I know where you're coming from. I hear where you're coming from. But I don't feel we shouldn't care about them. I just feel we shouldn't be investing ourselves into them. Maybe that's the same thing, but you're not your feelings. That's what life has been teaching me. Like, you are not the feelings you're feeling. You are not the actions that do. You are not the things that you say. You are not the words you think. You are the thing that's aware of all of those. And if you attach any level of understanding of belief to those things, that's where most of the suffering comes from. Me and my homies walk on toilet paper. Shit sounds like the Antwoord lyric. It would probably be Ninja Nana. I wouldn't be surprised if it is the Antwoord lyric. I don't know if it was a South African thing, but I don't think I've heard it before anywhere else. Oh my goodness! Just to clarify, smoking before my desk job. I only smoke late hours with other stoners at the salon to do full color. Never before cuts. I'd get so paranoid. Just like this. If I cut this hair, it is cut. I cannot uncut this hair. And then you start cutting and you're like, and the person is like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I wasn't worried about you, but now I am. Why are you advising me not to be worried about you? Enjoy the self-love and time off today, brother Bear Toast. Thank you so much, Ryan, for sending that love. It would be great. It would be great, Manito. It's nice to have you here today, friend. Thank you for joining us. The birds in the background sound so good. I miss those sounds. I had a tree next to my home that was home to a lot of birds, and unfortunately, it had to be taken down because it was about to grow into my neighbor's walls. That is unfortunate. That really is unfortunate, Poppy Tutti. I cannot even tell you how sad that makes me. In South Africa, we have this approach to our our cities, where we have these urban cities. We have these jungles basically in our cities, and we have trees everywhere. It's so sad to hear that the one tree that you did have that was home to so many little animals, had to be cut down because of, you could say, aesthetic reasons. I don't know if it's his actual building walls or if it's, a little s- you know, separation wall again. But it does make me sad. I'm sorry to hear that, friend. I have the hiccups. I'm happy to be sharing, these little burp noises with you today, my friend. Love to you, bro. Hope the family is healthy and happy. Hope the studio is finding success. Toast. Thank you so much for wishing that love as well. Like I had this genuine feeling of and I said the words love, wisdom, and abundance to brother Ryan as well today. So the fact that you're also doing the same, it makes me so happy. So impressive, Melt. Proud of you for accomplishing all of that. Inspiring me to accomplish more today. You get it, Isaac. You get it, friend. You don't get it because, it needs to be done or it needs to be got. You get it because you want it. You want it. You need it. Today I needed within myself to get some work done. And I don't need to exercise, but I've been exercising as a means to curb my paranoia. Like oh goodness. Like there's a part of myself that feels like it's trying to get out, in a good way. Uh, like there is information inside of me that wants to be expressed, but there's only that much time for me to be able to express it. And then I feel kind of paranoid in that space. And then I'll do, a bunch of a bunch of pull-ups, and I'll feel a little bit tired, and I'll be like, okay, thank you endorphins. And then I can sit down and I write a little bit again, and then I write and I feel I get stuck, and then I'm like, the information is having a hard time being expressed, and then I go and do a bunch of pull-ups again, and then I rinse and repeat that. So I don't know if it's a healthy way to do things, Isaac. To be completely honest with you, I think it's working at the moment, but I don't see myself doing it that way indefinitely. Maybe that is the way I'm supposed to do it, and like taking my quarterly breaks, if you will, like for every hour that you work, take 15 minutes of time off, or 45, 15 within an hour, whatever you want to do, to just do some exercises in that 15 minutes, free my mind a little bit. I don't know what Puppy is barking at. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make, Isaac, the lesson that I'm learning from life is that it's not sustainable to do things that way. Not indefinitely, at least. I feel I have a lot of capacity to get some things done, and I have some excess fat left, so I'm pushing my body harder than I would be comfortable with pushing it if I didn't have any fat. And I'm eating well, which also makes me more comfortable with pushing my body a little bit harder. And I'm trying to sleep well again as well, which also allows me to push myself. Like there's so much that life keeps teaching me. It's like, yes, you need to sleep well, you need to eat well, you need to exercise, you need to do things, you need to. And I'm like, oh please, please, life, please, please. And they're like, no, 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 no. You need to listen now. You listen to me. Yeah, I know, life. I know. I'm trying. I am trying to do all of those things. And that's all we can do. Is that feeling of trying. Yeah, I know, life. I know. I'm trying. And then life is like, okay, fine, I see you trying. Sprinkles some good vibes at you. Oh god, it's happening. My ball is getting packed against against my will. Hand starts seeking weed out, starts packing a ball. You look smooth today, Melty. Eat red meat. The beard has been shaven. Thank you for joining us, my friend. It's nice to have you here. Lisa, it's so nice to have you here these days, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I see you, and I appreciate you being here. Eat red meat, sending love, good morning management. It's all a judgment of each other that is a major problem in life. Absolutely. And unironically, and I'm saying unironically because I feel like it's something that's so tone deaf about religions, but that is the whole thing they're built on, like judgment. Like you're gonna get judged one day, so you have to do all of these things to escape that judgment. And then because I know these things and you don't know these things, then I'm in the position to judge you unless you know how wrong you are and how you should be doing things differently. More separation. More separation, Lisa. As soon as we identify or call someone as wrong, like, oh, this thing you're doing is wrong, and this is how you should be doing it, instant, aversion inside of us where we're like, nah, I'm not gonna allow any of that. I'm gonna fight you on it. And it creates separation, instantly. Now we're no longer working together. Now we're in opposition. So you're completely right, Lisa. Hey, dude, Forrest Gump taught me everything about life. Y'all should watch Forrest Gump. I agree, Mr. Jeremy. It was a very, I mean, I won't call it an enlightening movie, but it's definitely a movie that makes you feel some things, makes you see things from a perspective that you might not have access to in your everyday life. So I agree. Watch Forrest Gump. Lullabark. I think life has taught me. My cat. Life has taught my cat that bloodlust is her love language. Bloodlust. I mean, cats don't live without other things dying. So, uh, technically, yes. Technically, yes. Everything is about what the other has, wants, needs. People invest too much energy to keep up with each other in a way. Buying things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. Hmm. Why? Why do we do that? Status. Oh, yes. Yes, I have status. Look at my things. Look at all of these things. It means it means things about me. Status, yes. Look. That's nice. You wanna have a conversation with me? You wanna sit down? You want some water? You want some water? Uh, can I roll you a joint? You seem tense. Oh goodness, actually such an amazing movie. Genuinely. Like genuinely amazing movie. I couldn't agree more, Ninja. Uh then what the hell am I, dude? Your God, friend. Your God incarnate. As all of us are. The other side of the infinity. And without you here, this infinite experience you're having wouldn't be had. If you want to think about this infinity loop, one side is on the back of your eye or the back of your being. The other side is the entire universe you're peering into. And by closing that loop, Uncle Becky has this potentially disturbing thing that he says. He says the best representation of infinity is if two people's eyes touch on the pupil, like literally the pupils touch each other. That is the perfect representation of infinity. And I agree. And this infinity is here as well with us looking at each other now. And this infinity is here with us being in this environment. You are that, friend. You are that infinity. That is what you are, Mr. Jeremy. But don't let me tell you what you are. Go find for yourself, my friend. We don't like labels here. So the only label I'll give you is one of infinitum. Look, I'm gonna put this label, and then this label does this all over you. Oh goodness, I'm gonna try and take this label off, and then this layer peels off, and then this infinity label I put onto this person. It's not. Oh goodness, I cannot. Love you, Kira Burp. Thank you for joining us, my friend. I live in Florida, and I fenced off just a small bit of a land and city and let the plants grow wild. It's so beautiful. What an experience it must be just to peer into that environment. To see nature completely taking over, just finding itself free, completely free. When we do so much to arm wrestle nature into submission, we as a species have actually done harm. We've warmed this planet. Like think about that for a second. Us as these specks, bipedal, hominoid, flesh machines. We put out like 36 degrees Celsius pretty constantly to keep us, alive. But because of our technological advancements, and the amount of carbon dioxides and methanes we've pumped into our atmosphere, we've literally heated this planet up. And it's this weird experiment we're playing on ourselves. Like, haha, gonna fuck around and see what happens. How about you don't? How about we stop doing that? How about we, now that we know, us fucking around, now that we know what happens, how about we stop? How about it? And the ironic part is, we cannot. We cannot stop. If we stopped using fossil fuels as a collective society right now, our entire economy would fall apart. Things would just instantly go pandemonium. So we're like dealing with this growing energy need of a population while trying to switch to renewables while being still dependent on fossil fuels. And we're trying to make the transition to solar punk as fast as we can. But goodness, there's still money being invested into fossil fuel initiatives. Oh, we're figuring out fusion. Mm. We managed to get 70% back. Like 70% of the energy we needed to start the fusion reaction, we retrieved, which is impressive. At least for where we are right now. I think we sustained it for 5.7 seconds. 5.7 seconds of creating something on planet Earth that is hotter than the sun. Excuse me? Excuse me, what? Human beings? What are you doing? You're making the sun on Earth? Yes. Why? Infinite energy. Okay, makes sense. Go ahead. Go ahead, humans. Infinite energy. Liquid Flora, thank you again, Peppy, for joining us, my friend. It's nice to have you here. Sister Faye, so much love. Bro, how long till you rotate chicks? No goodness. Oh, big jiggy, no friend. Like, I'm not, I believe, I want to say this from a place of fortune. I'm not a dependent person on much of anything, especially not sex. And to me, especially from this place of not being dependent on it, sex is something that's very sacred to me. And if I have the opportunity to sleep with someone, I would want to know them intimately beforehand. Like it's almost like those two things, those two, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not scenarios, conditions have to be met. I have to know the person and be intimately in love with them to make love with them. So, this idea of rotating chicks in the way that you said it, it's people, dude. It's human beings, first and foremost. And if you're going to be sleeping with people, then it's going to have to be respectful. And then that being said, I don't see myself ever doing that. I just made a little X on the with water on the floor as well. I don't see myself ever doing that because it's not something I'd be comfortable with. From a perspective of, would I want something like that happening to a daughter of mine, my sister? Would I want to subject myself to something like that? I find myself a very committed person, and you can even say jealous if I'm in a relationship. Not jealous to the point where I'll be vocal about it, but jealous in a feeling. If I have a divine feminine in my life, I wouldn't want her to be with other men, with other, in a romantic way with other men. And even though we've talked about, poly relationships in the stream, I feel still in my heart that monogamy might be the thing that I feel I would want if I was to want a relationship. So, and this is where it's coming from. It's coming from this understanding of infinity as well. Even though in a conceptual way, it could make sense to want to have more than one female partner. From a realistic perspective, being able to give myself fully to someone, I feel like I would be dividing myself if I had to give myself to more than one person. So, I cannot see that ever happening, Big Jiggle. Thank you for asking, friend. I think it's, I guess, a valid question, but no, never, never is the answer. I made the mistake of smoking one day when I was in a hair school. I thought I had to only work on mannequins that day. I show up relaxed and stoned, and my teacher says, "Your wax is here." My first time waxing someone's face. Okay, okay, but that's not too bad, is it? Like, I've waxed someone's face, Isaac. I'm not shy to say. My mom and my sister are pretty progressive about stuff like that. You heat up the little goo in the little pot, and then you smear the little goo on, and then you have certain goos that you can leave just like that, or the goos that I used, you have a little fabric with it that you press onto the goo, and then you let the goo set. But you don't want the goo to set completely. You don't want it to be hard. You want it to be kind of viscousy, and then you whip it off of their face. I mean, I kind of would have enjoyed doing that super stunt. Was it a little bit comical at least? I hope so. Mm. Toast is losing it. I'm glad you're taking care of your body, Estian, and listening to it and what it needs. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much, Lisa. I feel it's so important to me to take care of myself and to love myself because I want to be doing this for as long as I can. And if I'm not willing to take care of myself or love myself, then I won't be able to do this for very long. And since this is so important to me, I know that we have to do it for as long as we can. We have to share this space and this love of one another for as long as we can. And me taking care of myself is the first step in that. Second step is showing up for it, and then rinse and repeat. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Exactly, Estian. That's why I struggle with depression. Living in the Bible Belt is so discriminating in life in general. It hurts. It hurts because then you're surrounded by these individuals that claim to, love God and worship God. And then in the same vein, they reduce you to nothing, you know, reduce you to just, yeah, just another little human being, throw them by the wayside, judge them. And then, it's this sheer contrast of disconnect, that you see. It's like, oh, okay, so you believe this, right? Yes. And then you act this way, right? Well, yes. Okay. Neat. What do you want to say? Nothing. Nothing. I'm just observing. I'm just looking. You want me to say something? No. Like, okay. I'm not gonna say anything then. But you wanted to say something. No, not really. But that makes them even angrier. Oh, we are all gods. Embrace the left hand path. I don't know what the left hand path is, but you're right with the first statement, my friend. Left hand path. I don't know what that is either. Insomniac, atheist. You have to let me know, friend. Everything that happens will always have happened. And everything that will happen will always happen as well. Within infinity, infinite possibility. Nothing goes undone. Whew, that's why we have to choose to be the expression of love within our opportunity of infinity. Choose to make every single moment an opportunity to express love. Every single moment. Every single moment. Like layers of love being put onto this world, influencing further. Peach's pupils touches banana's pupil. Don't try it, you insane people. Pass Dutchie on the left hand side. I think the lesson we should learn is never stop being the student. Be happy. Pass the happiness along when you can. Beautiful, beautiful lesson. Thank you so much, Sandwich. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much, my friend. Like marriage. Not necessarily like marriage, my friend. Not monogamy in a marriage way. I don't really like the idea of marriage in general. I love you so much. I'm gonna freaking get the government involved. Gonna make you sign some shit. Gonna have like gonna have to consult lawyers and stuff if you wanna leave me. I feel like there's so much contention and tension in that situation. I don't think my mom would like it though. If I if I have kids with a woman and I'm not married to her, she'll lose her mind. She's like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're not getting married? I'm just not getting married, mama. Maar waar gaan die troue wees? Wanneer gaan daar troue wees? Daar gaan nie 'n troue wees nie. Maar dan moet 'n troue wees. Hoe gaan ons weet julle getrou? Ons gaan nie trou nie. Maar as julle nie trou nie, kan julle nie kinders kry nie, maar ons het klaar kinders. It's like, but you have to get married. No, we don't want to get married. But how are we gonna know you're married if you don't get married? But we're not married, mom. But you can't have kids if you're not married. But we already have kids, mom. She won't take well to that. We'll see. I'm not gonna set any labels, any expectations. I'm just going to be myself until I find the person I can be myself with. Because compromising who I am or trying to satiate slash supplement who I am with someone else, neither of those are options that I can continue or do. And that's the best image. Hello to you, Mr. Blueberry, or Eat My Blueberry. Thank you for joining us. I'm a big Blueberry fan, friends. You better be damn. Yeah, there we go. Toast goes as well. You better be careful. Wrestling to keep my cat still. Relax, Melt says. This is the way. We must know more. We must know more and more and more and more and more into infinitum, Isaac. Melt more, dude. If you feel yourself melting, melt more. I love giving that advice to someone, especially someone who's tripping for the first time. If you feel yourself melting, melt more. That's all you need to do, dude. That's all you need to do. Nom nom nom. The government shouldn't have anything to do with marriage. More remnants of religion, authoritarian ideals. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Toast. The fact that we're still doing that shit, man. We're doing so much shit that we shouldn't be doing. I'm not gonna go into, that topic. I remember having a conversation with shit that humanity is doing we should not be doing. And then I was like talking to my friends about this, and then my friend was like, I'm not gonna do something about that. And that was Christian, and it was like, now I feel like a horrible person for saying that. And they're like, yeah, but why are we still why are we still doing these things? And I'm like, I don't know. That turned out great. Oh, wait a second. The was turned out great. The wax, I'm guessing, turned out great. The lady was a hoot. Nerve wracking at first, since it was my first time in person client. So touching a strain. Whoa, goodness, dude. My brain is melting reading that message right now. The wax turned out great. The lady was a hoot. Nerve wracking at first, since it was my first time in person client. First time in person client. So touching a stranger's face while stoned was very interesting. Once we talked for 2 minutes, I had a blast. So, a little bit off topic, Isaac, but I feel like it might be worth sharing. I smoked a joint, and after smoking my joint, I went to one of these aloe plants. I stripped the aloe plant of its green leaves. I put the fleshy part in a blender, bzz it up, put some of it on my face, and asked my brother if he wants some as well. And he was like, "Yeah, but I don't want to, I don't want to get it in my eyes or something like he said something like that." And I was like, "Okay, lay down, and I'll apply it for you." And I'm dipping my finger gently in this aloe goo, and I'm applying it over his face. And there's such a gentleness and such a love being shared in that space. And I have the conversation with my brother in that moment of how we as human beings used to do things like this all the time. We used to be close. We used to, be comfortable with, putting an arm around someone or touching their face, giving them a kiss or something. But now, because of all of these layers of separation, we don't do these things anymore. And it was such a beautiful bonding experience being able to apply some aloe vera on my brother's face. And it was arguably a weird exchange, but only weird because it's not something we've done before. And I wish it wasn't weird. I wish we didn't have that mentality to it. So thank you for sharing that as well, Isaac. I feel the weed helped me a little bit, man. When you find the right person, the idea of marriage doesn't seem so institutional. I guess that's true as well, Brother Bay. And you'd be an amazing example of that. A lot of the friends in this space is married, and I'm not trying to make less of marriage or the fact that you are married to one another. That the love is still true amongst you two as people, marriage or not. That isn't gonna change. That's the point we're really making. But I agree with you, Ninja. I agree with you. I guess marriage, has tax benefits. That is something. Apparently, I, I don't know. I'm melting, sister. This is turning into goo. I feel that. I grew up in the country, white Christian farmers galore. There was no room for love for anyone who was different, but I embraced being different and did my own thing. Now look at us. Our world is bigger than that. I love you, friend. We love you. We love you so much, Ninja Peach. Thank you for being willing to share that as well. Having come from where you did, being who you are, it gives me so much hope for the future generations as well. Welcome to the present, homie. Thank you, Toast. Here we are in this moment together. Actually, I've been struggling though. I've been through that. It's tough to be surrounded by those kids, kinds of Christians. For some reason, Isaac's messages just especially melt my brain. I was raised Southern Baptist and was in a lot of those Pentecostal churches, handling snakes, speaking in tongues, and shouting about the fire and brimstone waiting. Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to be joking about that. Suddenly Christians with pitchforks show up at my door. But yeah, I've had my fair share of people speaking in tongues as well. You know what's the weirdest thing that I noticed, Isaac? There was this sermon. I think, eight. I think my dad stepped on Pippi by example, or by example, by accident. Anyway, so we were in church, and there was this sermon being given on speaking in tongues and how it's this opening yourself up to God's wisdom to flow through you without any filter of normal words. And these men would stand up in the church and they would start going, well, and I was looking at them and I was like, I can do that. And I stood up and I was, and we could still do it. And it was just such a weird thing to me. Still is. Human beings, oh goodness, oh human beings. Thank you for sharing that, Isaac. So grateful for you, Toasty Bro. So grateful for you, Kira Burb. So nice to have you here with us today. How's the foot doing? How's the Lulu? How are the kids? How are your relationships, my friend? Do you travel around a lot? Not at all. Imagination, no. Like in the last 417 days, I've traveled a total of 1,000 kilometers, I think. So maybe 600 miles that I've moved, like in the last 417 days. God is dead, is he? Have you seen yourself in the mirror? Imagination, no. He looks very alive to me, friend. Very alive. I'm afraid it's still much like that. I think it will be for a while longer, Lisa. It will be for a while longer until that way of thinking and that way of seeing the world no longer is sustainable. I've been to a couple of those churches. People fall on the ground and flail like fish, and we're only calmed when someone draped a sheet over them. I mean, I can do that as well, Toast. That's the thing, human beings want to prescribe these reactions to something outside of themselves, but it's just you. It's just human beings, human being. That's just what we do sometimes. Hey to you, Heather. Thank you for joining us now. I'm happy that you slept in. I hope that you're well rested, my friend. Thank you for joining us. It's not changed in my world much. Not here either, unfortunately. The magic sheet, sister. To have the rainbow, you have to deal with the rain. Technically, you don't. If we're gonna be really technical about it, like if it rains there and the sun shines through it like that, there can be a rainbow cast without me having to experience rain. But I know what you're trying to say. Thank you for joining us. Not on TikTok today. I'm happy that you're on Reddit, friend. Thank you for finding us here. You are right though. You know, sometimes we have to go through potential negative experiences, potential negative experiences to appreciate the beautiful ones. Or you can just stand in the rain, you know, thank every drop for nourishing the soil and the plants and the little microorganisms, and then see the rainbow afterwards. It's just a little cherry on the top. The pastor would boop people on the head and they would fall to the floor. Very convincing. I am convinced. You know, like me and Christian really like to do this with one another as well. Like I'll go into a trip and I'll lament about something, or I'll talk about something, or I'll, you know, identify with something, and then he'll look at me and he's like, very convincing. And then he does something back to me. And if I see him lamenting in a way that I know is not him, then I'm like, yeah, it's very convincing. And I feel the exact same about that, Toasty. And I see these people, you know, going about. I'm like, oh yeah, that's convincing. It's a cool part you're playing. You know, interesting character you have. No mud, no lotus. Heather, how's life in South Africa? It's hot, friend. It's pretty hot, dude. Like that's what I can tell you right now. It's hot. It's beautiful. There's a bunch of wonderful people here, and our collective society, I feel, is becoming very anti-government, which might be a good thing. Might be an extremely bad thing. Hopefully it's a good thing. Thanks, Estienne, for always asking. Foot doctor, today, later. Kids are good and off to school. This week, relationships are hard. That they tend to be. Kira Burb, I cannot even imagine. You know, and there's so much extra variability with you as well. Thank you for being so strong, my friend. For trying nonetheless. Ooh, ah! Figured out why you couldn't respond to me. Wow, it worked. It's working now? Thank you so much for the energy. Thank you, definitely, Kara Burb. I see this being on B with goats. Faster with boop. Man, just the goats just passing out on the ground. Mm. You know what I would do to those pastors that are touching these people? I would, you know, go through this kind of like gotcha type of setup, you know, I would take them through. I'd be like, okay, so, you know, God created everything, right? Yeah, he did. So God creates through all of us, right? Yeah, I mean, he does. So, you know, you think humans are like top of the list with the amount of, you know, power that God can channel through us? Yeah. So do you think animals are less powerful in context, you know, to these human beings? Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. It's like, can you do it to them? If you boop them, do they pass out and spaz out? I need a blanket over them before they recover? No. Why not? Why not? Because they don't have the means. No, but they do. Technically, it should be easier for you, right? Because they're even less limited. You know, they have even less ego and conscious, you know, resistance to spazzing out. I wouldn't sell it like buy any of it. Friggin' unity, dude. Unity, man. So much unity. Thank you for joining us, Toast. Genuinely, Brother Bear. It's so nice to have you here again, talking about 11s. Thank you for joining us as well, Brother Aiden. It's so nice to have you here. Of course, Toast is like unity with a blue heart smack dab in the middle, and then Aiden pops in directly afterwards. It's such a blissful experience to provide that kind of service for people. When I do a shampoo, I get very tough. When I do a shampoo, I've got very tough hands, so I feel like I'm slowly working my way through the scalp and really dig in. It's my favorite thing to feel them relax fully. Like I want to figure, or not figure out. Technically, I'm gonna eventually, when I have the money to go on a class. I think it's like 500 bucks, and then it takes you through these materials, if you will, teaches you how to do a proper massage, and then you write a test, and then I think you have to go and do a massage as like a practical, and then you get certification, and then with that certification, you're also allowed to open a massage studio of your own as well. which I don't know if that's going to be too handy, but being able to massage a person and know where to massage a person for certain, benefits or certain pain points, I think is so beneficial. And the fact that you can do that just with a scalp as well, it's amazing, Brother Bear. I accidentally had Toasty, Uncle Becky, Epona, and a few others blocked. How did that happen, Heather? How did that happen? Like that sounds like it's not something that happens easily. I'm happy that you figured it out though. At least now we can chat again. Boops Marley, boop boop. Nope, she's still crying. Oh, I'm so sorry, little. I'm so sorry, little fruit cup. So at first it was like a small little block that had these little lines through it, and the closer I got to it, the more it looked like a barred window, and then the closer I got to it still, it looked like one of those, almost like, how do you explain that? Weaved, weaved little bands that create like a surface to lay on. And in the context of Marley, I felt like maybe there's a feeling of her feeling trapped, maybe a feeling of her wanting to lay down on this, woven, woven mat. I don't know. I hope she feels better. I hope she stops crying. I wish I could help. That's the most I could do. Sending you so much love, little Marley. Wonder what I did. I'm also curious, Toast. You naughty one, you. Going to sound weird, but but you can wash my hair. Yeah, mine too. Like Isaac, I'm looking forward to the day, even, dude. Maybe shave my head or something, dude. It's like Isaac is like, "Are you sure, Melt?" I'm like, no, I'm not sure. I'm very much not sure. Oh, that's what I did with Goblin Red. Took forever to figure it out. Maybe it happened accidentally or something, Kira bro. I'm so sorry to hear that. Woo, Toasty. Woo. Yesterday, I watched a scalp treatment video forever yesterday. Oh my goodness, legit goosebumps. I haven't had my hair cut in like 4 plus years. Not like cut. So I haven't had a head massage in 4 plus years as well. Damn it, I forgot. I've literally been forgetting what I've been missing out on this whole time. The sacrifices we make to have long hair. I see how I want to check my block list. Now, I'm scared Reddit is good doing a funky wonky. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Reddit to be funky wonky, dude. Surprisingly, I only have like 3 people blocked. I think I have like a total of 9, which is impressive to me for how long we've been doing this. Now Marley's good. She passed out on my lap after a munchie session. I just wish the magic pastor boop worked on babies. Man, like I used to remember Ninja Peach. It's not exactly related, but I used to remember as a kid wishing that I could just insta pass myself out. As soon as I lay down, I could just like press a button and then. I was really, really wishing that I could find wherever that button is, but alas, that button does not exist. It's weird we have to pretend to be dead, or we have to pretend to be asleep before we can sleep. It's like if sleep was something that, another entity dragged us into, but it can only drag us into it if we're sleeping. So it like does its rounds and then it sees you laying laying with your eyes closed, you're like not sleeping just yet, but and it's like, oh yeah, this one's probably sleeping as well, and then drags you into the sleeping realm. Pretend to sleep before you can sleep. Nothing silly. I think when I'm typing with my fast fingers, I accidentally do it. Odd thing is, I don't think I've ever messaged Epona. So odd. That is odd. That is odd. I'm curious now if there's people that I've blocked, that I didn't mean to block either. Actually, the pastor's magic boop is so similar to the rub heads. You're healed. So, like maybe I'll share this as an ending to this life lesson stream. I do believe we have power as a collective. And if we as a collective come together energetically in prayer, if you will, towards someone, we're collectively pushing energy into that direction. And I think we can heal one another with that amount of focused energy. But I don't believe it is deity related. There's not like a love, 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 and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna take a hard left, gonna make sure God wants me to send love. Then I'm gonna take a hard right, and then I'm gonna come back to this person and then give them the love. I just think it's this channel between each of us. Aren't there people who have sleeping disorders where they just fall asleep anywhere and everywhere? Maybe it's good to have to pretend first. You were actually right. Yeah, I think they call that narcolepsy. Narcolepsy. It's like, I don't know why, but for some reason my mind finds that word funny because I'm like, yes, epilepsy. I understand. I saw someone have an epileptic attack for the first time when I was 9, and that shit, my brain was like, oh hell no, that is that is not right. Why is that human doing that? And I felt so powerless as well. And narcolepsy, is like epilepsy, except for the fact that you just straight up bonk, pass out in the middle of nowhere. I think you're right. Thank you for teaching me that lesson as well. Instead of having to pretend to sleep, being seen as a bad thing, maybe it's a good thing. Yes, I've dated someone of narcolepsy. You have? What are the odds of that? Heather, I wonder how many cases of narcolepsy there are in the world. Can't imagine that's something that's common. And the fact that you dated someone like that, how did it influence your relationship? Would he just pass out in the middle of a conversation or something? I don't know. I'll wait for you to answer, Heather. Ooh, it's a hot day. Oh goodness. It's so freaking hot. I think it's the humidity. It's the humidity. The app said feels 39 today, and it has been feeling that way. Can you tell who you blocked? You can, Lisa. If you go to your profiles, especially on PC, I think it's kind of easy. But I believe there's a blocked list in your mobile app as well. You go to your settings, and then maybe in privacy or something like that. How can you tell who you've blocked? I'm not sure. Like at least in here though, it's frustrating for them and me as well. Especially if you don't know, Especially then. I've known two people. Well, goodness, what are the odds of that? Two people of narcolepsy, like full blown narcolepsy. Like how often does it happen? Is there a like a threshold? Like if you pass out once a day, that's narcolepsy, or does it like have to be like biannual? Like, oh, I passed out twice this week. Now I'm narcoleptic. Like, I don't know how that works. So, let me ask this: the people that you know who have narcolepsy, did you experience a narcoleptic attack? In my terminology, I feel is like kicking my ass because I'm just making these words up as I'm going. So Noah, thank you for joining us, brother Bay. How are you doing? How are you doing, man? How's the house? Are things, progressing? Are things better? Can you use the front door again, friend? Account settings in your app. There we go. Thank you, Toast. Yes, imagine saying like 4 words in a sentence and have that person you were talking to directly. Just close your eyes. Like, no, you cannot see. You cannot see what's going on there, but like, someone sent me something, but you cannot see it. It doesn't exist here. Narcolepsy can strike at any. SMDSC. Thank you for the joke, my friend. My SO is a narcoleptic. Look at that. It's pretty weird. He hallucinates sometimes immediately before and after waking up. That's some synchronicity, Jovan. What a trip. Even more. Even more. It's also the first time you've ever mentioned that you have an SO. I've known for a while. But since you haven't mentioned it, I haven't mentioned it either. Thank you for being vulnerable with us, Jovan. And thank you for sharing that with us as well. I hope it's not something that's bad. Is it something they take medication for? I'm curious. I played football with someone with narcolepsy. He only passed out on the field once. I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah, what are the odds, Toast? I'm like tripping out about these synchronicities as well. It is bizarre. It's so bizarre. Thanks, Estian. I'll look. Thank you, Lisa. I hope you find nothing, technically. Everything is better, thanks for asking. And today is my birthday, so I'm excited. Happy freaking birthday to you, Zenoa. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you're blessed. I hope you get treated like a king. And I hope that there's absolutely nothing that you want to be differently. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Happy birthday. Bizarre disorder. It is. I miss this 101-year-old lady who used to come in for roller sets. She'd be in the middle of talking, and then boom, out cold. Would she like collapse, like fold, like a rag doll? Isn't that very dangerous for them falling on their head or something as well? A girl I went to high school with, Tess, she had a light case. The school just let her sleep through study halls. She just needed more sleep than most people, I'm guessing. The other girl I know I known, I worked would just randomly pass out whenever she was sitting down. At least, is sitting down better to pass out? At least if you're sitting on a couch, I guess. Hope she wasn't the goalie. Oh, nice. Cataplexy is a disorder where you have sleep attacks. I had a family member with this disorder and it was nuts. She'd collapse randomly sometimes. Okay, so cataplexy is where you just like ragdoll. Maybe narcolepsy is a little bit more gentle than that. The P is coming for some scritches here down here. Okay, again, the butt on me. Can you not? Can you not just put your butt on me, please? I know it's hot, but this is just uncomfortable to both. Still wiggling the tail. Like she's, I don't know, you can see this, right? She's sideways sitting with her butt, standing with her legs. Is this comfortable? You like this? You like this, you much more? What's that? What's that? What's that? Mm. Thank you for sharing with us, Ashley. Jovan, happy birthday. So many happy birthdays. Thank you so much. Her neck would just fall straight back. I'd prop it up on my bed while I worked until she woke up. Goodness. That is so brutal. What a weird twist. Life teaches us that narcoleptic people exist as well. Hey, Bonnie McMurray. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Like you're joining us right at the cup end of the stream, but it's so nice to have you here. I'm sorry how bad I actually ruined my last comment grammatically. I was multitasking. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. It's okay, Aiden. I feel like sometimes if the comments are really, let's say, quickly structured instead of badly structured. If they're quickly structured, then it's like mental gymnastics that I'm jumping over to read the comment as well. So I see it as some extra neuroplasticity, some adversity. I need a Joe Bot stream someday. Me too. Me too, Toast. I really need a Toast stream as well. Like I have some wonderful creators that I would like to see be created. To be making things, if you will. Narcolepsy sometimes comes along with cataplexy, but isn't that bad. He just can fall asleep within seconds if he's having an off day. Okay. So, like, he'll be a little bit tired, be sitting down, and then pretty much instantly almost sleeping instead of just like in the middle of a conversation, well, ragdolling. Do lions roam around that area you live in? Yes, Salvador. They do, in fact, roam in the area that I live in. The area that is planet Earth. And technically, they're roaming around you as well. They don't roam close to me, fortunately. You know, we've joked about it a few times where if a lion or a tiger had to attack and devour me on stream, that would be very fitting. Very dramatic, maybe traumatizing, but it would be a big bang to go out on. Oh goodness, having a birthday, sending love. Random question, because I'm curious about you friends. What's everyone's favorite animal? Or maybe what animal feels like your spirit creature? Since it's hard to pick a little favorite animal friend. I mean, spirit creature for me, Isaac, is butterfly. Favorite animal when it comes to fascination is the chameleon. Having crystals in its skin that get flexed to absorb different wavelengths, a little golden ratio tail, three fingers, two finger feet to hold on to things more effectively, weird rib cages. At least they're weird to me. They're kind of big in context of the rest of them. Sometimes very interesting, horned heads, even these bilateral eyeballs that can look anywhere they want and then focus when they want to focus on something, and then a bone catapulted mm, meat mitten that catches things at the end of its firing range. I just that amount of complexity in a little creature is just, oh, it's so fascinating to me. I mean, technically there's another level of fascination and complexity in a butterfly as well, but there's just, I imagine explaining to an alien, the characteristics of all of, like these characteristics of the chameleon, and then being like, no way, that's a real thing. And I'm like, look, look at this thing, dude. Look, here it is. Here is its bug. Chup, eats it out of my hand from across this distance. See the alien's mind being like, unless they also have tongue flicking creatures on their planet, which they probably would have. I wouldn't be surprised if evolution did that again. Happy birthday! I'm not my birthday, Wolf. It's not my birthday. Thank you, though, my friend. Today is Noah's birthday. Thank you for sending that love, though. I'm sure it's a challenge, but as an insomniac, that sounds kind of nice, to be honest. The word that comes to my mind instantly, Aiden, is better the devil that you know than the devil that you don't. That's what I'm gonna say. Thanks a lot. So much love being shared. Drooling. Bonnie McMurray. I don't get that one, Isaac. Bonnie McMurray has been joining us for a while, but where's the drooling coming from? Is today or no? No. Not my birthday. It's a Noah's birthday. Thank you, SMD. It's not my birthday, friend. It is a Noah's birthday. A Canada goose. I usually hiss or honk at you if you run from them the wrong way. Oh goodness, I've heard some spicy things about those Canadian gooses. As ninja, I'm happy to hear it from you as well. Thank you for dropping a fat plat. DC worthiness. I appreciate that, friend. I don't think we've had you here before, but we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for joining us. I get frustrated when I struggle to fall asleep and the person next to me is like, good night. I'm that person, Heather. I'm pretty much that person. At least if I'm tired, I'm that person. Oh, I'm a warrior animal. I can appreciate the dominance. Ninja Nan. Oh, I can. Oh, that's the animal that Ninja Nanner chose. The Canadian goose is truly an alpha goose. I know someone with both narcolepsy and insomnia. So basically, they can't fall into perfect sleep stage. They're constantly bouncing in and out of it. I'm sending that person so much love. I hope there's some sort of medical intervention that can be taken. Have you ever tried African Dreams root melt? I just bought some and I was wondering. I haven't actually, Aiden. I'm very interested though. Butterfly, jaguar for Zenoa. Chameleons are sick, truly alien like. Mine would be the fox. I've always been fascinated by them, and I see them a lot on trips. Have you seen that DJ fox, Isaac? It's the first thing that I think about. It's this little fox that has like red and blue colors, and then it has like mixing decks, and then it has like a little pair of earphones around his neck. I think you would love it. Sounds like hell. It does. It does sound like hell. Tasmanian devil. A dog, playful, loyal, loving, and chill. I actually feel that one as well. If I had to exterminate all other creatures on this planet and only leave human beings and another creature, in that case it would be dogs as well. I hope, fortunately, that will never happen. I love dragonflies. I once saw like a dragonfly. So there was these branches going into water, and these branches had like a little bit of leaves attached to them. And the way it was going into the water, and the water was very still, created a mirror image of those branches, and then it created this like dragonfly face, and the branches with the leaves on them looked like wings, and it looked exactly like a dragonfly if I tilted my head like this, and it was amazing. That instantly made me think of that, Lisa. Thank you for sharing that as well. Bonnie McMurray joke is from the show Letterkenny. The more I know, Isaac. I didn't know that at all. Bonnie McMurray is a character from a TV show, Letterkenny. Thank you, Ninja. Canadian Goose are feral creatures. Great show. Oh, I've never thought of that saying, Mel. I love that. Makes my brain start to think instantly. Like that to me is the only thing I can hope for, Heather. It's just that you think more for yourself. You know, like we're not trying to encourage one another to think the exact same thing or have the exact same opinion. Quite the contrary. What we celebrate here is the differences in opinions, the differences in ways of seeing this world. And I feel it's so important for us to recognize and notice that as well, that we encourage, we celebrate, we support one another in our weirdness, in our differences, in the ways that we are not the same. Because if we were all the same, this world would become mundane like that. So I appreciate you, friends, for being your unique selves. Foxes are my favorite animal. There we go. You have two foxes. Beautiful. Like your snooze hair. Um, looks rainbow. That's what my brain is telling me. Beautiful choice, so spicy. Couple kitten and be harsh. I'm thinking about neurochemical flush your body goes does when sleeping, and wondering if that has any influence on dreams. Probably. You know, I believe that that neurochemical flush contains DMT. I believe that because DMT we know has neurogenerative effects, and we know that sleep, has that effect of us as well. So I wouldn't put it past us. It's a root that grows in South Africa and other parts of Africa, and supposedly helps with sleep quality and makes your dreams absurdly vivid and memorable. Well, I hope for good sleep for you, and I hope that those dreams treat you well, Brother Aiden. Thank you for the love, Gab. I appreciate that, man. I love the one where Wayne and McMurray have an election for the head of the Art Culture Society. I don't think I've seen that one. I've not seen any of them, unfortunately, Ninja. I've been reading about dreams, and it's funny how little we understand about them. And in societies where they, partake of a lot of DMT, like in the Amazons, dreams are an integral part of their society. It's something that they discuss very viscerally, and they take a lot of meaning from it as well. I broke the stream. Mouth was all goodbye, friends, and I was all but narcolepsy. Yeah, I feel it's like kind of comical. Ninja Peach, and we've just been here. Whoosh, thought avalanche, and here comes Isaac of the Animals. Goodbye. And I feel that as well. There's a part of me that wanted to end the stream earlier, but the fact that you friends are still so present, still so loving in this space, tells me that it's not right to end the stream just yet. So don't feel any pressure. Ninja Peach, we're here together. I'm so happy to be here with you friends. The devil we know versus the devil we don't is more thought provoking, and the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. Because we I believe at least we figure out how to deal with our own devils. And it's from that perspective that I feel we're very naive to want someone else's life sometimes, or want someone else's circumstances, because we don't know it. And that not knowing it can be more devastating than the thing that it is. One of the best. Every time Wayne and him treat us as golden, you made me crack up in the kitchen. This is what happens with weed. My mind turns into an ever-changing blob of topics. Just melt more, Isaac. That blob of topics, that is what Meltmore is to me, dude. And Meltmore now, I feel more so than ever, isn't just a name to me. It's a way of living. It's a philosophy. Again, if you think you're melting, melt more. Just melt more. Oh, you're dissolving into the infinite. Yeah, do more of that. Oh, your your thoughts are an ever-changing blob of topics. Do more of that. Yeah, keep going. Keep doing it. First the stream, then the Matrix. I never remember dreaming ever. So sad. I'm sorry to hear that, Lisa. I've been remembering my dreams a little bit more as of late, but they've been uninteresting, I think at least. Meh, that's me every day, sending help, thank you. I'm glad the stream went on longer, because I came in late. I'm happy to have taken on you today, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. I was thinking as well, if we didn't stream a little bit longer, our friend who dropped the platinum and disappeared would also not have been here. We're supposed to be here now. I don't know if this is weird, but sometimes I miss the people I met in my dream. Like I still feel the empathetic connection to people who aren't in my awake reality. I wouldn't say that's weird. I'll just say that as you being a highly empathetic being, Aiden, I have never had an experience like that. But that doesn't mean that your experience is weird, even though it might be weird in my context. I don't think it's weird at all. I just think you're a loving being, my friend. Isn't ADHD? Oh, hey, but very much so. Much love, Estienne and all. Much love, Kira Burb. Isaac says, if only we could keep an ongoing psychic link. Melt X-Men. Careful what you wish for, Isaac. Careful what you wish for. You're gonna get it, my friend. Be careful what you... X people. Thank you, friends, for joining me today, for sharing the space with me. I cannot thank you enough. I dream almost every night, but still feel like I don't get that great of sleep. Salvador, technically, dreaming too much can rob you of good sleep, friend. So, there's that side of it as well. I feel that. Aiden, I've I become friends with curious critters that left my heart fluttering. Love those dreams. Shamashi mashi. Let me get you in frame. Shamash mash. Do you have to eat my hands? Said I yes? Okay. You're so full of ticks and stuff. Huh? Where you find yourself? Where you find yourself and you're so full of ticks, you silly girl? You silly, silly girl. Mash, mash, mash. Uh, all the love enlighten me, sees, acknowledges, and appreciates all the love enlighten you. Thank you so much, Corey. It's so nice to have you here today. On B saying, I hope you all have know how much I love, admire, and appreciate you. We do you too, Aunt B. Thank you for joining us and for sharing the space with us today. It was such a blessing having you here. Thanks all. Gave me a great day. My mind feels day. And be yourselves. Thank you, Isaac. We will, friend. We will be ourselves. My friends, thank you for joining us. I got some friends in Dream ones. And I don't remember their faces or their names, but I remember how much I cared about them. As much as you care about yourself, as much as you care about all of creation the other day, it's always there. It never goes away. And any day I'm no longer here, remember how much love I have for you always. If any day, oh goodness, you had me shocked for a second there on B. As we will be sending you love as well, keeping this space open for you even when you're not here, my friend. It's weirder to hear Corey and not Banana. Peach remains a mystery, does it? I know your name. I do know your name. But I won't say it because I'm respecting of you. Sending y'all so much lurbs. Much, 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 gang. So much, much, much to all of you friends. Thank you. Thank you eternally for joining me, for learning with me life's lessons, friends. I appreciate you so much. To have such good, classmates to help me when I'm having a hard time with this test. I love you, appreciate you, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Goodbye, my friends. So much love to you.